Sup, KAA Uncle back for you. So I got some good news. I could work for like 4 hours. One friend of me just offered me the job and it was cool. So I told you in the video job that I'm gonna get a job. I know it was for just few days, but at least something. So you see the universe is working. Topic of today is friends because that's how I got the job. What is a friend to you? Think about it. You can meet friends anywhere. You have friends that you know now, but how did you meet them before? Did you just happen to be at the same spot as that person? So you see, but sometimes peoples are not ready and you cannot connect friends because you don't have the sympathy for it. So, but don't make it then an enemy because everybody can be your friend because in friend you have family is the real identity, the existence, and that's naturally the denominator, okay? So you understand that family is the denominator because we have God as father or mother or it, as I told you. And we are all in this creation and are all its or his or her seeds, okay? So just children as you want or creation. And you need to understand that friends are not just happen to be something to take for granted. Because when you take something for granted, you're gonna be sorry later. Because you're gonna miss that person in some kind of way. That's why I keep it always neutral if somebody don't wanna be my friend. I cannot expect from everybody that they have sympathy for me. But at least try not to see me as an enemy because I'm not an enemy. So to make you that understand, friends are persons, individuals, and they have a character, okay? So everybody has a different character, but we can mix that up when we meet together. Everybody has his speciality. Everybody has his own talents and gifts. So that can bring these gifts into the cipher, in this universal cipher, okay? Because that's from hip hop. There's a cipher when people meet together and then they rhyme and spitting rhymes, you know. Last time I saw Arsenio Hall show Hip Hop All Stars. Go and check it out if you like hip hop and if you like the music out of the hip hop culture. Try to check that out. There's Daz Effects, Wu-Tang, KRS-One, MC Light. There's, you know, so many really great hip hop artists, and they kick dope rhymes, you know, just freestyle, and that's tight. I liked it. But back to Friends and the character, okay? So people have a certain character, and you should show appreciation because the universe shows its let's just say it's oneness in diversity, okay? Because we all have different let's just call it gifts that we have inside of us. And if we look at the humanity now, we are really not retarded, but we are back in time. We are just not, you know, you can call it I don't know what's spelled in English, primitive, you know, as just, you know, raw, not evolved enough. Okay, this is not a disrespect. You have to understand that. This is a fact. Because if we see older cultures that we have, Egypt, the Mayas, the Incas, and so on, you see that there was a culture cultivated, you know. They were always building their cities according to the stars, and we lost the connection to the stars as we lost connections to each other. This is what people need to realize, because that's why we have all this war going out. because people don't like to communicate anymore with each other. They rather fight each other. Some people do, but know that the universe will come and challenge you one day. And if you're still in that position by challenging, believe me, the universe is too strong. You cannot defeat it, because it will take the one thing that you're good in and make it infinite times better than you do it. So there's no need to challenge the universe. But back to Friendz again, that you see that every person carries a universe within it, or within him, or within her, and so on. So that's what I mean with friends. You need to have this connection. You need to appreciate the people that you have around you that are there for you. There for you is not when they give you just money or invite you. It's just the presence of the person is enough to make you understand that you are appreciated. Because if a person is chilling with you, I use this word, if a person is with you, join you. That's why there's this saying, can I join you? Because we join each other. We joy on the end. We have the joy together of a friendship, of a relation, okay? And this is what is lost, what I see from my side, okay? This is, I'm not objective. This is subjective, because this is my opinion. This is not an absolute truth. I just say how I see it. But make yourself some thoughts of it. I mean, take a look at humanity as we are dealing with each other. Sometimes you see somebody and you start to criticize because you don't like that person. That's the wrong way, because you don't know the history of the person from this life. Not talking about other lives. So that's why me, myself, I'm neutral. I just face persons and have fun with them. It doesn't matter from which race they are or from which religion they are, because I'm a spiritual person. This means that I respect the individual behind the body, the persona. This is what sounds true, is in Latin, means what sounds true, the persona. This is really crucial, because then you understand that we are more than just the body, okay? And so when you know that we are just more than the body, when we know that, and we assume that we are not the only civilization in the universe, then we should start to hug each other instead to fight each other, because we don't know how much civilizations are out there, and if they have technology that is much more advanced than we have right now, you need to understand that they will crush us in a minute, because we cannot live together in peace. This is what Bob Marley said: your worst enemy can be your best friend. It just depends how you look at it. And the same thing is, he says, and your best friend, your worst enemy. Because you thought you know your friend that way good, but you didn't. So you always need to know a person by communicating. This is how we start to know each other and our character. And if a person really likes you, they're gonna be your friends. But I have to tell you that even if they're really good friends in tough situations, they sometimes don't step in. They don't want to interfere, because they think they can do something wrong then that will offend you. So you need to understand that when you have a difficult time, don't think that when the people or friends are not there for you that you had before as friends, don't think bad of them, okay? This is back to the judgment, okay? Don't judge people. I always try to go back to other videos so you understand where I want to go with that. Because friendship or a relationship with another a creature. I say creature because we all creatures of God. We are creatures in this universe, or we call it the soul. Okay, so the soul behind a body is always something that I appreciate because it's a gift from the universe. It's a gift from the universe that I can be with that person. Maybe that person before was a king. Maybe it was a real known artist, and so on. We just don't, we assume we know somebody, but we don't, okay? And this is what I want to tell you. Keep always a good connections to your friend. If you have lost connection with friends, try to reconnect. It's never too late to reconnect. It's not easy to reconnect. You have to know that there is an effort that you have to bring in. You need to know maybe that when you start that you will maybe not have the success that you wanted, because the person is not so, let's just say, I don't want to say advanced, but not so spiritual, okay, that it can forgive, or she can forgive in a moment. The moment is very crucial here, because it's not about past, it's not about future, it's about the now. Because in the now you have the past and the future. This is the moment that is always changing so fast that you cannot grasp the now, because the now is the infinity. Because in the now I feel my ancestors. In the now I feel my friends. In the now I feel God. So we need to go to that point where we know that relations or connections should be maintained. What does maintain mean? Maintaining something is when something is broke, or when somebody is broke, you help them. This is just all about these things that you hear in the Bible, what Jesus did. Okay? So when I'm in prison, come and visit me. When I'm at the hospital, visit me. One friend of me was in the hospital. I didn't visit him, but that does not mean that I don't love him as a human being, or that I don't appreciate his friendship with me. I just had things to do. And this is, everybody has something to do. Everybody is sometimes busy, okay? Let's call it busy, but I say occupied. Because when I do something, I go really deep into it, and why I was occupied is just because I had to deal with myself. I need to put myself before anybody else, because then I am with God. Because God is within everybody. He's everywhere. He's anything. He's the creator, and he creates more and more and more in this moment. So this is why I appreciate the people around me, the people that surround me, and even the people that I yet don't know. We need to go to that level that we can approach each other on a platform of agreements, like I told you. When you have an agreement with somebody, when you say tomorrow we're gonna do that, do it with them, because it's important for your life to keep your word. In my past, I saw what is happening when I don't keep my word. It's not good, because you had an idea, and that idea need to flourish. And even if you start with little, you need to understand that if you don't start something, it will not come to its full potential. So when you don't want to start to take a step forward to somebody that maybe you never talked to, you will never have the pleasure of knowing that person. Because maybe You don't know. In another country, it could be somebody who's famous that you never heard of. Myself, I don't go too deep into the medias. I don't want to disrespect the medias, but if I if you want to know my opinion from the medias, is just like people say they're just manipulating. I feel like they are manipulated, not from somebody, from themselves, because they just see something and then they think they know the truth, but it's not true. You cannot know the truth if you don't approach that person and ask that person what the problem is. Most of the people today, they don't tell you that because they maybe feel ashamed or whatever, and we have to go away from that, because to be ashamed is normal. This is when you're a child. That's why I see this humanity, which I am a part of. I don't put myself above of that humanity. I'm in it too. I'm involved in it, and I like it, because to be involved means to be needed in the universe. Okay, so that's why I'm trying to tell people to be themselves, because then they can bring themselves in more intimate. Okay, because being intimate is nothing wrong with it. Intimate is not just about sexuality. Okay, intimate is when you know somebody so good that you can even prevent something bad happen to that person. So that's why we need to hold together, because this humanity that we are in, that I see, that you all see, we have problems and we need to solve them now. You can believe it or not, but change is gonna come. And even KRS-One said it, that hip hop has a message, and the message is, if you don't start now to connect to your not only the ancestors, not only God, but connect to your family, the universal family, we are going nowhere. We will never reach other planets, we will never reach other galaxies. Not happening. Because if we try, let's just assume, if we try at the state that we're right now to go to another galaxy, and we have that attitude of starting from a misunderstanding, a war, we might step into a really bad situation where we can be, let's just say, annihilated, okay, from the universe, from higher sources of the universe. That's why we should live our life according to universal laws, because then we can reach further into the universe. This is just logical. Okay, try to imagine if you live according to the law that we have right now, you can go further. You will have no problem with the court or the judge or whatever. You understand? And this is what I'm trying to tell you. If we are not going with the universal laws, we ain't going nowhere in the universe, because we get swallowed up. Because the universe is based on recycling, okay? And that's what I'm telling you. If we don't understand the universe, then we're just lost. As you see, we need machines to build houses. We build houses in a very different way and not according to the stars. And this is what makes us handicapped, because the stars have influence over our life, over our daily life. You need to understand that. And when we understand that, then we're going further. that the stars will help us to go into real evolution, where we have changes not only in economy, not only in science or spirituality. We will have our whole physical body will evolve on another level, where our DNA will change and so on. This is all possible because God created us, so He can change, or she can change, or it can change our DNA. But if we are not ready, we ain't going nowhere again. Our body will evolve slowly to that level, but we can we can go faster. Like, you need to learn now when you do an apprentice. This is when you, in Switzerland, when you start to work. You come out of school and then you work like 4 days, 2 days are off and 1 day is school. And then you go to learn a job, a work to do, to specialize in one section, okay? Like construction or science. This is when you study, of course, and so on. Now imagine that when you study for being a doctor, you need like 6 years. Now imagine that if we evolve, then even our intelligence, our brain and everything will evolve, and we will come to a higher state where we can learn what we learn now in 6 years. We'll maybe do it in 1 year, and so on. But if we don't believe in that, it will not happen. I mean, you cannot believe in that if you want. That's you not believing in it, and I'm not forcing you to, but I believe in it. I do believe in God, and God works in very miracle ways. You need to understand that. And back to the Friendz, you see, we're going back to Friendz from stars and universe and like evolution of the body. But as long we are lost, imagine the DNA. It looks like a chain, and this is the same thing with the universal family. As long the connections are broke, there is no evolution of DNA. You can, of course, try to evolve without others. It will go to a certain point, but you will never reach infinity. Never. Because the eternal life, as Jesus Christ said, if you believe in me, if you believe in Jesus, if you believe in love, okay? I'm not a preacher. I'm just saying that Jesus was a spiritual teacher, okay? A spiritual messenger of a higher civilization, and he tried to show that we have problems. And what happened? As you saw, they killed him, and he still forgave. You see, this is he still forgive, and that's what's crucial in this situation, to understand that he forgave because he knew that they are not that far in spirituality. And that's what I see in the sense of Jesus Christ's what is it? The crucifixion, or when they crucify Jesus Christ, to make it easy. And that's what brings me back to Friendz. I mean, we have problems. Sometimes you have a problem with somebody, try to go and clear it. Because that's what Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said. We are all interrelated. I can never be what I ought to be as long you are not to be what you ought to be. So there is no escaping this. As you can come again into this creation in different bodies and so on, but it's all about that, to connect. Because disconnect, you know what happens. I mean, if you're in the internet and it disconnects, you're not more in the internet. That's it. If you disconnect, if you always go in, just by yourself, you disconnect from the universe, you're not part of the universal family. Like I told you, you can go into the abyss of the universe. God will always be with you, but you cannot be part of this evolution, of this revolution, because it's like return, revolution. It's happening again because they didn't learn. Okay, I'm not laughing about them, but that's the fact. I'm laughing about the fact that people don't understand that violence will bring nothing but destruction and disconnection from the universal law itself. So as long you disconnect from other people or you try to exclude people, like I told you, I don't like to exclude people. I'm just laying facts for people to see my understanding or overstanding. And this is very important in life. Try to imagine if you're disconnected from oxygen, you die. That's the same thing. You have like a spiritual death. You're like spiritually dead. You know, you're just not rising. Because we should rise, you know, rise up. Don't keep on falling down. That's what I'm telling them. Because they need to rise up, connect, embrace the universe. Don't keep on falling down and be yourself the obstacle in your life. Because that will not bring any good. You can start a family, you can have a really good family of your own. But as long we exclude people, we ain't going nowhere. I don't exclude people, I just say, you know, I accept, I love that person as a human being, and I know it's part of the universe too. This is my thinking, okay? This is the philosophy behind it, because this is your daily life. This guides your daily life. And if you go with that thinking, that you are part of the universal family and the other people too, you will have lesser misunderstanding and lesser fights that will in the end just, you know, result in violence that will bring nobody somewhere. Because to be honest, we are not advanced, we are just handicapped. And why? Because we cannot talk to each other, because we cannot hug each other, because we cannot show love to each other, because I cannot say I love you my brother, or I love you my, when I have a friend I say I love you, he will say I ain't gay. That's not about that, okay? And no disrespect against gay people. They have the, like I told you, I am for unity, I am not gay, but there is coexistence. Why can I not coexist with these people? I know it's hard to understand. We don't have to imagine what they do. That's what scares people off, because they go in with their thoughts somewhere where they shouldn't. This is their privacy. We don't have to know what they do in their bedroom, okay, to speak it out, to go straight to the misunderstanding where people have a problem. And it's true. I cannot imagine myself. That's why I don't occupy myself with that. I occupy myself with my meditation. So try to reconnect to people, because you will connect to a part of the universe. And I'll promise you, if you do that honestly, you're according to the universal law evolving to a higher state of mind, where your spirit will have the ability to come into existence, into flesh, and disappear again. I know it's hard to understand and people think I'm crazy or I'm nuts. You can say that. Like I told you, yeah, KAA is going nuts. True, because I believe in more than what I see. I don't see the wind, but I still feel it. And that's very important too for friends. Feel your friends. When people meet after work, they discuss what they had in the day. Try to Try to listen to them, their problem, or maybe their agitation. Feel them, because they have maybe an issue. So an issue is always to be solved, because that's like when people didn't know how to build houses. They started with their fantasy to create and so on, okay? But as I told you, if you have connection to God, to the universe, okay, then these ideas are on a really different type of level. We are talking here about, let's just say light years away from each other, okay? Because people think that nowadays they need a vehicle to travel. It's true, you can travel with a vehicle, but we can even travel with our mind. We can travel with our body. Teleportation, the word itself exists, so it's possible. But we don't have the ability now. And why? Because we disconnect from each other. It's only happening when you are within the universe and when you don't exclude. Now you say, how is it possible for others, for other civilization, if we can do it, but we're disconnected from them, they're disconnected from us too, but they feel us. The feeling goes far into the galaxy, far into the universe, and reaches every corner. And now you need to understand, the feeling reaches infinity. That's why it is important to feel people, because then you know how they are at the moment. And this is how you tranquilize people, by let them be who they are, and they need to feel that you appreciate them. And it's got to be honest, because otherwise the whole effort that you put in it is not gonna be with a good result. Because when you're not honest, people will feel that. Even people that are not that sensitive, okay? Because that's something everybody feels. If you are, if you like somebody, or if you love somebody, okay? Because if you like somebody, it's like you treat, I see it like that, okay? You treat it like a thing, not a soul, not a part of the universe. So you need to bring yourself in with honesty, and then the person will feel that you mean something, that he, she means something to you. That's very crucial, because without friends, you're alone. I don't say that it's not possible to be alone, because God is always with you. But right now we are at the state of ignorance, where people ignore each other because they don't like each other. I don't know why, or even not love each other. Not to talk about love, because love is greater than like, as we know from Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. But we have that problem, and we need to solve it now, because look, I know what's all in the media and so on, but I'm telling you, Nibiru is coming. And I'm telling you, it's not today, not tomorrow, not in 20 years. It's gonna take some time, but it's coming. And we need to do something now. Okay? So stop to blame other people. Start to understand them. Try to understand why this person is like that. You need to see behind the story of that individual, and you don't even know what happened before in the last life. Maybe it was an animal, or maybe it was a human being, or maybe it was somewhere else. But I'm telling you, we have higher beings here on planet Earth. and they're trying to help us. But if we keep ignoring them, we are digging our own grave. This is just like that. Don't think that that is the end, but you have to come again and again until you learn to bring yourself more into this community, into this universal community. That's very crucial. We have to understand that, you know, because it's really important. I'm trying to show you with examples how everything is connected to each other, okay? Like the zodiacs, they are connected with each other, and they have the lion that is like Leo, that is nourishing the zodiac because it has the sun, and the sun nourishes the solar system, and so on. So you need to understand that there is always a connection between the smallest things that you say. Now, why Friendz and zodiac? Because Friendz are just like different, like the zodiacs, they're different, but at the same time they are together in a cipher, okay? And they belong to let's just say a form or a concept. You know, I'm not trying to talk here cheap or being wise or anything. I'm just trying to tell you my point of view, how I see the creation, and how I appreciate to be part of this creation and be a servant for the whole creation. Because if I'm the servant of God, as I already told you, I am also the servant of every living creature, and even of not living creatures or of things, you know, because everything has energy. So I like to serve people, I like to be help. But if somebody doesn't want your help, try to accept that, because then you are help for this person. Otherwise you're causing more trouble. Maybe this person has so much things at the moment that it doesn't want that help, that you, even if it's a good effort, okay, even if you're trying to hog or whatever, that people sometimes need their time, and this is important to give that time. Because in the end, it's not about getting things as fast as possible done. It's to get things done the best way you can, with the best quality. And best quality doesn't come by doing things fast. Okay? You need to understand that and overstand that. So I want to change a little bit from friends into networking, because it's the same thing, okay? Because what is a network? A network, it's not only the internet. The whole entire universe is a network. So you understand, when you exclude yourself from universal laws, you're not in this network, and you will have no rights to claim anything from it. You have the right to live, but check how you live, check how you approach people, check how you appreciate your parents or whatever. I know we are not always we don't have the same opinion like our parents, but that doesn't mean that our parents are bad people, because they have their own history, and maybe they don't want to follow our thoughts because they want to live their life easy. Don't worry, everybody will get to the point where we are on the end together in this network, like I told you, a really universal family where we always can forgive, because in evolution there is always obstacles, and you need to overcome that. And to overcome an obstacle sometimes needs help. Sometimes you can do it alone. So you need to be strong, okay? That's why there is this saying, only the strong survive. And why is that? Because the strong are those who are not attached to Babylon, but know how to be themselves. You can reach higher states, okay, of existence just by appreciation. Existence means not only when you have another body or when you have another form. When you have the current form, the state that we are right now, to evolve from such a state, it's a gift, it's an opportunity, like Eminem says, one shot, one opportunity. And I take that opportunity to help people. That's why I'm doing all these video clips, to share myself with the universe and to give some people maybe a hint or show a direction how we can change things. Some people are more intellectual, and this is where I am going actually. Not by the IQ. This is not, doesn't mean that somebody that has a high IQ is intellectual. To be intellectual, intellect. The intellect is always with love behind it. Somebody with intellect without love is very dangerous, and it's let's just say the universe will show that person that without love you ain't going nowhere. Love is always great, the greatest thing, because from love everything evolves, because God loves us. Even, I mean, let's assume Jesus Christ was the Son of God, and we, I say we, that ignorant state of mind that we have right now, killed him. But we still exist. So we killed the Son of God and we still exist. So we know that God loves us because he could destroy us, but he didn't. That's why Jesus said, God forgive them because they don't know what they do. And in this saying you hear it, because we don't know what we're doing. When we disconnect from each other, we don't know the consequences out of it, okay? And that's crucial, because it's not only crucial, it's critical. It's a critical situation, because you disconnect from the universal network. And that's it. Because this network is there to for creative people who have new ideas for different problems. We may have our problems on this planet, but believe me, there are other civilizations and they deal with other problems too. Because that's these obstacles. From these situations we learn. I know that before I came into existence, into this body, I was observing that planet. Otherwise, I would not be here. Because I had a decision to make. If I want to be a part of this civilization. And I said, before that, I'm gonna check on them. Observe them. How they do, how they solve their problems, and I see that they don't have the real solutions that could help one another or help everybody to go into higher states, that we can communicate with other civilizations without any disrespect. And that's why I came. I decided, because I have the option. I have the solution against violence. Actually, I didn't created it. It started with Mahatma Gandhi, actually with Jesus Christ, actually. But there are even other spiritual teachers, but Jesus Christ is crucial because we saw that he still forgave in a really bad position. You know, in a bad position, I mean, not that Jesus was in a bad position, it was the bad position from humanity to put him on a cross. And there he still forgave. He still forgave. So we need to see that and know that this non-violent movement that then continued with different characters, but I especially mention Mahatma Gandhi and Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., that really brought that non-violent movement to America in a really tough time, okay, when there were people thinking that black people were lesser valued, but still there were people that were white with him and so on that agreed with it, that we are all one universal family in front of God, the real judge, if you know what I'm telling you, or if you know what I mean. So I think we should learn to listen to such persons, and I mean the philosophy behind it, to come to this state of understanding how we can continue that, you know, because the solution from Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and Mahatma Gandhi was just to get beaten down, okay, and not reacting. But I actually now want to evolve that on that level where real this what Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, somebody got to have sense in this world, okay, to meet physical force with soul force, and the soul is infinite. So I have infinite possibilities to react against violence. React. This means like to show like I can get beaten down and I still can talk to that person. This is what I actually live, okay? Because I got beaten down when I was young, but I still forgive these people and I meet these people and I still talk to these people. Not about the thing that they did, how they are today. To forget about that, because it was a misunderstanding. So we need to go to this level where we know that bad things happen to us will bring us to a new solution. And I'm telling you that the time will come where we rise to a civilization that is doesn't matter in which corner of the universe you live, that we will have contact and can visit each other. But that will take time, and that's what I'm telling you. Things are not going fast, good things, but sometimes difficult times need extreme measures. This is what I tell you, that sometimes we need to protect ourselves. So this means to protect our family, to protect the people we love, to protect this planet. That is really crucial, because everybody says, I mean, that life is hard. Life is beautiful for me. Doesn't matter how hard it is. I have my difficulties too, but I learn from them. And we have to stop saying that life is a bitch. Life is not a bitch, okay? Because life is Jesus Christ. And Jesus Christ, first of all, wasn't female. And even if he or she or it was female, we don't call it bitch. That's what I'm trying to tell you, because life is beautiful. So you see, it depends always on which point you stand, on which, from which perspective you take a look at something. And life is not just something, life is love, okay? Because from love, life comes, and the opposite way, from life, love comes. Because in life you have people you love, maybe it's a woman, maybe it's a man, and so on. So it's always about love, okay? But we need to understand that we were created as human beings, and we have these opposite sides, okay? We have like man and woman, and we fit together. This is just a fact. I'm not disrespecting lesbians, I'm not disrespecting gay people, but it is a fact that a man and a woman can create a child. Man and man can't, and woman can't, without that they adopt some child. I mean, bring life from life, okay? So just to make you understand that you're not excluded from my point of view, from my philosophy, everybody is, but there are misunderstandings, and we need to understand the teachings coming out of it. So, long story short, friends are important to you. They surround you every day, and they make your life make your life sweet. This is what I can tell you, because it's not boring. You know, I can call this friend, we're gonna have a good time. You go and drink whatever you want. You drink beer, you drink water, you talk to each other. But I'm telling you, if you drink alcohol and not abuse alcohol, if you take drugs, not abuse drugs, you have to do it always with a conscience behind it. And then in this state of highness, when you're high of it, of this alcohol and so on, you can rise to a certain type of level where you communicate with the whole entire universe. I know you think I'm crazy. I have I even talked to a psychiatrist, okay, and he told me I'm sane, okay, but we have to see the insanity in the sane, you know, the insanity in to be sane and so on, like sane in insanity and insanity in sane. It's always about fucking up our own mind, okay, to push ourselves to the limit where we want to reach higher states and so on, because we come from the underground up. That's very important. This is what Busta Rhymes told us. We're gonna rebuild this shit from the underground up. And we always, like a plant, we will grow and to higher states and communicate, you know. This is what we have to understand, and this is what we have to do to push each other, not to provoke, but push each other to rise to a higher state, to rise to that philosophy of nonviolence, and to rise to the state of love, where God is above us and all around us, and shining on us, and loving us as we are at the moment, with our little problems that we have and with our difficulties. But don't forget, thank God even in difficult times. Don't think that you can only thank God when you have a good life. Try to also thank God when you're in a really bad position, because then the solution will come, because God sees that you learn from your mistake or from your misunderstanding. You see, you can see it as a mistake or a misunderstanding, but this always will happen, because these are the obstacles, these are the pillars to success is the failure. I already wrote that for you when was I do another video. I don't remember actually which video, but it's from failure is the pillar of success, and from that you're gonna learn more and more and more. Okay, so there is no need to judge other people because they're gonna learn. You don't have to push somebody. You don't have to tell somebody now you need to learn from your failure, because the person will feel like you want to control her or his or its life, and that's not good. We need to let people do what they want, but at the same time they need to understand that we do our best to go to a higher state of mind. And I'm going there, I know that, where I don't have to come into existence through a sexual relation between man and woman, where I come into existence when I want and where I want, because God wants me to be there, not just because I want to be now there and I go there. No, it's because I serve God and He needs me there, so I go there. But when I go through a sexual relation, I'm again at the same position that I'm now. That's why I enjoy my life now, and then I saw how it was, and then I come different into existence because I love this creation. Not only this planet, not only other planets, I love I love God, and God is within everybody, and God loves everybody. This is what we have to understand. So stop blaming other people, and especially don't go and fuck up people in higher ranks, because they have this rank because God wants to be within them on that rank. That's why He elevated them to that position. That's why some people have money, some people are poor. The poor will learn, and so on. You know what I mean? To survive with nothing. And there are people helping, because that's what I mean. That's how we can change the future. By approaching each other on a different level. By saying, I know what you feel. Let's try to sit together and have an agreement that we can live together without having a violent result of it. Because maybe you have some other idea and so on, and we can collaborate with each other. That's possible, okay? So don't worry what you did in the past. Don't worry about history. Be a part and let history shake you, because then you will feel the vibration of the universe. So, to finish this video, I want to tell you, if you have friends, try to keep them as close as possible to you, but also let them their space when they need it. Sometimes they don't want to do something with you. Maybe they have other friends, then do something with other people and so on. But as you see, if you don't have enough friends, then you say, I want only to be with that friend because that's my best friend, and all others, yeah, they're just friends. That's not gonna work, because your best friend has other best friends and he wants to go with them. But because you don't have a good relation with the others, you can go with him, and so on. There's always consequences, and this is just, all connected. But as you observe, and do, that, you're gonna see the universe in a different way. And this is what I'm trying to tell you. Try to be observant. Try to be an observant person. Somebody that checks things out before you act. It's important, because then you act with the universal law. Because you don't judge a person from the first day. You start to observe and see how this person works, how this person express her or his self, you know. So be always with God, be safe, um, love you all because you're my family. I don't have any enemy, you need to know that, and it's really true. I maybe have people that don't like me and not even love me. They don't think I'm sympathetic. But that doesn't matter to me because they're still a part of the universe and I love them no matter what. This is what I learned from Jesus Christ. So I'm trying to cultivate that more and more and more, you see, until to infinity. And then I can take one by one to infinity. And I will do that. Doesn't matter what a person did in his past life. I will forgive because that's what Jesus Christ told me. And Jesus Christ is my master. Because what he did in these times is not easy. To go against studied people, and not he didn't go against them, but he said that he has a higher purpose, and they didn't believe it. And you saw what's the outcome of it. To eliminate this is not possible because he came again, and so on. This is just a small part of history. You can believe in the story or not. But if you are Christian, if you call yourself Christian, try to come from your religion to spirituality. And if you don't do it, doesn't matter. I still love you, and I'm out.
Peace.